Morning kids. So, welcome back, unless this is the first time you're here, in which case hello. So I'm now in North Yorkshire for the week, on a family holiday, but the other half is having to do a bit of work today, so I've been sent out to occupy myself, and I have parked up at the rather pretty little village of Gothland, and I'm doing I was going to say circular walk, it's more of a triangle, which should hopefully take in a couple of waterfalls. I do like a waterfall. I don't think they're anything of the scale of an Icelandic one, sadly, but hopefully they'll be pretty nonetheless. We've had a lot of rain yesterday, so hopefully even a bit of water on them. I'm also dodging a lot of sheep poo, as you could tell from the intro. Anyway, first waterfall I'm heading to, tree, is called Mallyan Spout, I think. If memory serves me correctly, this is a sort of tall and narrow waterfall as opposed to a wide and shallow one, but I guess we'll find out when we get down there. So it's not too far off the road, I don't think. So apparently the waterfall is 100 metres this way, and then we pretty much retrace this little bit of the walk but carry straight on rather than going back up the stairs that I just descended, and that takes us to somewhere called Beck Hole, which I think is where the other waterfall is, and that's probably a mile or so strolling along. So let's go along here, see if we can find the waterfall. Well, at first I thought it was the little waterfall there, and I was mistaken. But the tall waterfall, well, I'm sort of standing directly underneath it almost. It's okay, I guess, quite tall. I'm not sure how to take a picture of it because I'm quite close up, and ideally you'd want to be on the other side of the river, but there's no way across. Also, the rocks to get over here were very slippy. Only fell over once, but I'm going to try and be very careful on the way back. So I think what I'm probably going to do is stick on my ultra wide 15mm and see if I can get a photo from here of the tall waterfall. But I'll probably then take some of the little cascade through the rocks there as well, because I think with a long exposure that'll look quite nice with the water sort of swirling around. Right, get the camera out. Okay, so the 15mm lets me include all of the waterfall in landscape format, so you get some of the nice rocks around the bottom. So I'm probably going to take a couple of exposures here, one at -7 like this, but I'll probably do a -2, just to try and keep detail in the top of the frame where the sky's breaking through. So I've just turned around at the same spot, and I'm using the 50mm to capture the little waterfall there, which looks quite nice, but I'm probably going to head back down the river that away, and I should be able to find a composition looking back up towards that, so get it a bit more head on, and I'll probably use a slightly longer lens, so we'll see what we can find. So I think from this angle it would work quite well, but there's this annoying sort of tree branch which would encroach into the shot. So what I thought was the tree itself is quite gnarly and cool, so I'm going to head back a little bit further and see if I can actually include that in the frame. Well, the best I've come up with is sort of perched out on this rock, looking down the river there. And with the 85, I don't know how well you can see that. It might work. But yeah, the tree over on the left there was sort of in the way of most shots, and further past here there's not a lot either. That's the first waterfall done then, and I'm now walking along the river towards Beck Hole, which is near where the other waterfall is located. So it was a bit dicey getting to that one. The rocks are pretty wet, and like I think I said, I did fall over once. I bought some new boots recently which were meant to be a bit better on wet rock, but they don't actually seem to be. The only thing I have that seems good on slippy surfaces is my insulated snow boots, and I feel a bit of an idiot walking around here in those. So I shall continue along the path for getting on for a mile and see where we end up. So I'm now just walking along the stream towards the little hamlet of Beck Hole, and I now just need to cross over the road when I get there and head up the hill into the trees, and that should be the footpath to the second waterfall, which is called Thomason Foss, I think. It's interesting they're all called Foss around here, a bit like the Scandinavians call them. I guess it derives from Norse, I think I read, meaning force. So there you go, education. Right, see what we can find. Right, I'm on the path to the waterfall, which so far has been annoyingly up and downy. So I climbed a bunch of rocks, which took me up to level with the Heritage Railway, the North Yorkshire Steam Railway, I think it is, which we were on yesterday. And then it came down a bunch of steps again. So I'm now back a little way above the river. And as you can possibly tell, the path is a bit overgrown. I don't know, maybe people don't come down here. Maybe the waterfall's going to suck when I get there. The ferns aren't so bad, but there's also these really annoying spiky bushes at the side of the path which sting as you brush your arm against them. Anyway, I'll stop moaning. Yeah, yesterday it rained quite a lot, so we went on the steam train. It turned out not to be a steam train, it was a diesel train, because we've had so much dry weather recently. They don't want to risk another fire starting along the moorland with bits of sparky coal flying out or whatever. But still pretty cool. So we stopped off at Goathland station, and I'll put a few pictures up now actually from there, which was quite pretty. It was used as Hogsmeade Station in the Harry Potter movies, but much to the annoyance of some Chinese tourists, there was very little wizard boy paraphernalia, and they were quite sad. They couldn't see owls and wizards and things. Right, anyway, more rocky steps, a level bit. Right. It said 20 minutes to get to this waterfall, so on the website, which means I should get there midday in a quarter of an hour. So we'll see how accurate their timings are. Right, I made it. It did only take about 11 minutes actually, so it wasn't too bad. But the last section was just boggy grossness with billions of midges and then a big pile of slippery rocks to clamber over. Anyway, yeah, it's not such a tall waterfall, but I actually think it's prettier because the aspect is pleasant. Nice open space to shoot from. So yeah, stop yakking to you and get the camera out. that is Thomason Foss done. I sent the drone up in case you haven't spotted it. I'm planning to put that bit in before now, so you will have. So yeah, pop the drone up. Little bit of footage from above, which is quite nice. So that's the 2 waterfalls done, and now all that's left to do is wander back to the car, which I left in Gothland, and then probably eat my lunch, because it's 15:15 midday. And then I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I've got a plan to go and find some old mine workings, which I think are somewhere called Roseland Abbey, possibly. Need to look on the map, but they might be quite interesting. I think a day like this they'd probably be good in infrared. There's a nice blue sky with wispy clouds and a bit of old brickwork, but my infrared camera is not with me, so you'll have to have normal pictures. But I might make them black and white. Anyway, right, I'm coming up to the uphill bit, so I'm going to stop talking and speak to you shortly. Right, I've just driven up the joint steepest road in England, apparently, which was quite fun. Anyway, I'm now at Bankton Kilns, which is an old sort of iron working gubbins. So I took a photo of the sign, and I can do a little explanation later when I have digested it. But yeah, nice up here. There's some good clouds around, all pretty bleak and dramatic. So see if I can work out a few photos. Right, it was a bit windy out there to talk to you, so I am now back in the car, grabbed a few photos of the kilns. Next stop, I think I'm going to go to something called Beacon Hill, which is quite a high hill with a beacon on top of it, so good name. It's about half an hour away from here, but it's vaguely back in the direction of where I'm staying, so I'll probably do for the last stop today. So, time to keep on up this hill and head along the top of the moors and get over there. Onwards. So it occurred to me that after visiting the beacon yesterday, I never actually finished off the video. I didn't wake up in the middle of the night scared about it or anything. I just sort of realised today. So you get a bonus visit to somewhere. So I've driven up to Ravenscar, which is a few miles down the coast from where I'm staying, and it's a village that was going to be created as a new holiday resort to rival Scarborough, but then one day someone realised that to get to the beach was a bit of a faff, and the beach was just rocks and seaweed, so all the investors kind of pulled out and gave up. So there's not a lot else here now, a few houses and a hotel up on the hill. But what there also is apparently some alum works, which I thought was probably something to do with aluminium, but reading a web page, I don't think it is, because it was something to do with dyeing textiles, and apparently it involved barrels of stale piss being shipped from Newcastle as one of the main ingredients, so that sounds delightful. But apparently down this hill, which yes, I will have to walk back up, there are some ruins of the industry that was once there. So I figured I'd take you along and go and investigate those. So as we're up on top of the cliffs quite high up here, there's a pretty good view, which you can't see because I'm kind of down in a dip now, but it was very good from up the top there, and you can see all the way across to the village of Robin Hood's Bay. So when I get back up top, I'll probably grab a snap along the coast, I think. But I'm on the last little path down to the Alum works now, and I can see a bunch of sort of low walls in the distance, which I guess is all that's left. So yeah, almost there. But now I'm looking back at the hill at the hotel. It's quite steep and a long way. It's sad. My coffee. We've arrived. So there's another info board here. So it was a bit to do with aluminium. Apparently alum is a crystal containing aluminium sulfate. So the ruins of the walls down below there, looks like it was quite a lot of industrious buildings. Interestingly, the picture on there looks like a lot bigger than what's here, so maybe there was more to it, but I can't see where that would be. But yeah, I'm going to grab a shot from here because you've got a nice view of the sea behind. It says there was a railway that led all the way down to the docks, so I think it must have been some sort of lift down the side of the cliff or something. I think there's another info board up there that may explain that. Anyway, I'll stop boring you with details. You can Google them if you want, and I'll take a picture or two, see what I can capture of this well arranged pile of old bricks. So there is a bit more to it. So I walked around the edge of the first bit that you saw, and I've sort of come nearer the cliff top now. There's a sort of big hole in the ground, and this is a section labelled transport, so I believe this was the engine house for how they got goods down to the boats, which would be quite a long way down, I guess. Right, well that's a few snaps of the alum works done. So I've now got to head back up the hill to where I parked, which will be a bit of a slog in this heat. So I am probably going to end the video now, which I forgot to do yesterday. So yeah, thanks for joining me on a mini whirlwind tour of a couple of spots in the North Yorkshire Moors. Yeah, if you enjoyed it, give it a like, and subscribe if you haven't already, usual stuff. Other than that, my next trip is off to Armenia for a couple of days, funnily enough, but I'm not sure yet if I'm going to do a video from there or not, so I'll see how things go. But photos will be on my various socials, which should be linked at the top of the channel, So give me a follow there if you want to see the photos that don't end up in these videos. Anyway, I'll leave you with the last few pictures, and thanks for watching.